Hey guys, what's up? I got the glasses on. You know what that means? I want to see. Also means it's time for reading with Rob. So I thought this would be an apt book because I just read it, and it's apt for the times. Autocracy Inc. The Dictators Who Want to Run the World by Anne Applebaum. Now, you know I've read a lot of books such as Disordered Minds, Overthrow. I think I've talked about them on here before if you followed. And these are similar ilk, but they're literally looking to the past to see where we are in the present. And is more contemporary. And so she's looking at all the autocrats across the world that have come to power, that seem to be responsible for autocracy on the ascent and democracy on the retreat. And why is that happening? And so it's probably no surprise to you guys that disinformation has a lot to do with that. A lot of the same players are that you've always heard: Russia, China, North Korea, Iran. Those are main guys behind it, but it's not limited to them. And it's a global perspective of how it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere from Asia to Africa to the United States. Of course, we have an election coming up, and I've never seen this much disinformation in my life. It is many times more than in 2016, many times more than in 2020. It's out of control as far as I can tell. And basically, in the role that social media plays that, and the lack of regulation for social media is playing on that. And so a lot of us are, I think, wondering what happened to my, because if you just think back 10 years ago, we were in a very different situation. But one of the advantages of democracy, and here in the United States, we have a long tradition of free speech, right? But that's kind of the soft underbelly, the exposed part of democracy. And people like Putin and negative players are taking advantage of that, gaming the system to cause chaos, try to create a new world order, but more importantly, to enrich themselves and their friends and the oligarchs that are there. None of this is happening in a vacuum. It's happening across several continents all at once. It's not a vast conspiracy. They don't have a meeting necessarily, though I'm sure some of them meet. But it's not like one big conspiracy where someone's just pulling the strings or any of that simpleton stuff. But what it is that people being opportunistic and taking advantage of chaos. And of course, if you notice, things got much, much worse after the pandemic. Well, that's a perfect opportunity. And so, then there's wars, so Putin decided to full invasion for Ukraine, of course, Israel and Gaza. That conflict been going on for 2,500 years, but has reignited again and caused just incredible chaos in that region and misery and suffering. And so misery and suffering is then compounded by disinformation and misinformation, as we saw in Hurricane Helene, which happened in North Carolina, and basically, all that disinformation that just served to weaken our institutions, and that's what we're dealing with right now. So, if you really want to have a broader understanding of what's going on, try Autocracy Inc. by Anne Applebaum. I'm sorry, it's going out of focus there. Really good book. It was recommended to me, I think, by someone on LinkedIn. I just saw it and I was like, that sounds like my kind of book. And I was right. It's easy to read, easy to comprehend. It's not overly complicated. At the end, Anne does try to offer some points of hope or solutions, and they're viable. I just don't know if we have the will to do it. One of the harsh truths that she points out in the book is that it's not only not being able to distinguish between fact and fiction, between truth and lies, but the desire to. So many times, I think what we are find perplexing is that people are willing and able and desirous to believe a lie over the truth if it is their lie. If it reinforces their belief, a lie is cool. And so, and then truth becomes lie, lie becomes truth, the world becomes upside down, and that's where we're at right now. Anyway, I don't know what solutions it'll offer you, but it will give you a deeper understanding. I do highly recommend it. So once again, Autocracy Inc. and Applebaum. That's Reading with Rob. I'm already on to the next book, and I'll let you know about that one when I finish.